Hello, oh Jesus! Hello, welcome to episode 286 of the Epic Film Challenge, Silent House. This is a kind of I was going to say high concept, but I'd say low concept horror film. The concept is that it's supposed to look like it was all shot in one take, but in reality, it's like 10 to 12 minute takes that are kind of like cleverly edited to make it look like one big long thing. I love that about it. It's similar to Rope, Alfred Hitchcock film in a lot of ways. Well, not similar in terms of the plot, but I mean just like the continuous one shot kind of thing. Very, very cool film. About 40 minutes into it I thought this is brilliant. I was kind of losing interest towards the middle and towards the end as well. I don't know, certain things happened, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Certain things I was like, wow, that's really creepy. Certain things I was like, oh, this is, I don't know, like it started getting too shaky cam towards the end, and I was like, oh, that's a shame.
It was shaky from the beginning on.
No, I mean like when she ran out of the house halfway through, it was like ridiculously shaky.
That's
The focus.
They used the same camera that they were walking with earlier, and it was shaking like crazy. If they were running, you can only imagine.
So the focus is like a weird thing in the film too. Like the focus really just like jumps around a bit. Sometimes it's out of focus. There's a really cool shot of the main character, this girl, towards the end where like it's only focusing on like her eyes, like when it gets really close up, and the rest of her face is out of focus. That was a really cool shot.
I was thinking about my Canon camera a lot when I was watching the focus effect, because it was the same thing. Like when you use the manual focus thing, it's weird how just a tiny thing can be in focus and everything else gets blurry. Like the thing with her eye, but they were really up close though.
Yeah.
They were probably here with the camera on her, probably, and she was like,
the story is basically a girl and her father are trying to do up this old house that they have that's in the middle of nowhere, and there's no electricity, so there's no lights. They're just using like lamps and stuff, and they're trying to do it up, and basically her father goes missing, and it just goes from there really. There's just some really good like horror devices in there that worked really well. Overall towards the end I was kind of feeling a bit like you know, I thought maybe the ending let it down a bit. I'm not going to go into why. There were some cool shots in there. It was very impressive the way they filmed it and so on. The lead actress, Elizabeth Olsen, who I believe is the younger sister of the Olsen twins,
it's
definitely got a lot.
She is the sister of the Olsen twins.
Definitely a lot more talent than those two. I thought she was really, really good. I was very impressed by her, and apparently she was in another film recently that was really, really good.
It's rotten on Rotten Tomatoes though, Silent House. But
Yeah, I saw it wasn't.
That she's been in are
I saw it wasn't rated very well, but I thought it was good. I thought it was enjoyable. But apparently it was like a Uruguayan film to begin with. Like it was. This is an American remake basically, and apparently the original's a lot better. So we're seeing that a lot now. Like Let Me In, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Loads of adaptations of like European films are coming out. Well, that's been going on for ages really, but there's a lot more coming out these days. Troll Hunter again is being remade in American, so. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I'd only give it maybe, I don't know, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. The last half of the film I didn't feel nowhere near as much as the first half. The first half I was just interested in where it was going, and I loved the way that it was, you know, looked like it was one shot. I loved that, but then towards the end it was just like cameras going everywhere, and I was getting kind of intrigued by like what was going on. Like, oh, you know, how's this going to unravel and stuff, and then like the payoff I wasn't that satisfied with. But she was great in it. I thought she was a brilliant actress. Like the bits when she's like hiding and there's like a guy right there and she's trying to be quiet, and like you can tell she just wants to like make a noise and she doesn't. It's weird to explain, but she did it really well. I really bought her scariness. Yeah.
Scariness.
Her scariness, her how scared she looked, I don't know.
Yeah, she did a really good job. Like a lot of girls in scary movies, they try to look attractive even though they're scared. You know, but she was pulling off the most unattractive grimaces
Yeah.
In her face, and the way she was crying in a way that made it sound like she was laughing. That's the way it gets if you're panicking when you're crying. And most people who have cried in a panicked type of way knows that. She was brilliant. I didn't know that she was their sister, which is probably good because I'm not a big fan of them, but you shouldn't judge people out of their families. was going to say something earlier, but I totally forgot now. Because you were babbling and babbling. I found the movie less interesting in the beginning and more after you got to know what the whole thing was about. Because throughout the movie I had my own theories. Oh, it's definitely that person or that person. Oh, it's definitely that. And I was thinking like, of course it is, and I'm smart and stuff. And then when you got to know what was really going on, I was like, oh, it makes sense now. I remember what I was going to say now. It's actually inspired by true events, this movie, which is interesting because something just moved.
Probably a cat.
Probably. Things that happen in this movie could happen in real life, which makes it more interesting as well. It's got to be a cat.
Of course it is. What else is it going to be?
Well, you know. Anyways, I was tense now and then, and I got kind of stressed out. But I got kind of confused in the middle when she started seeing things. So it was slightly scary, but it wasn't that scary. But she did a very good job, and she turned out to be an excellent actress. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.